Hey everyone, this is Jordan with Sith Saber Props. I'm here today to show you another one of my saber installs. I just completed this one this morning. This is the Roman Props Inception Elite, and this is for one of my clients who actually sent me two sabers, the Roman Props Inception Elite and the Roman Props Mark I. And he was going ahead and he was doing the install himself, but he found he didn't really have the time to complete it, so he went ahead and sent them to me, and it's been a few days and I just completed the Inception Elite, and I gotta say I absolutely love this saber. I'm a big fan of the Luke Hero hilt, so this one really speaks to me. I've done a few Obi-Wan hilts before. I absolutely love this hilt, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's installed with just an TriCree RGB LED. This is by Nigon's Electronics. It's really no different than a TriCree, except the red is already soldered with a resistor on the board. He included all the electronics for this hilt. We were originally going to do a Spark Color 2 install, but I didn't have the common anode RGB LEDs in stock at the time, and now I do. I have bags and bags of them in common cathode, but I did have common cathode at the time, so I talked to him about a Crystal Focus 10 and installing that in this instead, and he said that sounded good, gave me the go-ahead, so I did a Crystal Focus 10 install, and let's go ahead and boot it up. 28mm premium speaker. Very nice in the saber. You have the standard clamp card with two tactile switches underneath. It's a very satisfying to activate. Now, there's another little bonus to this hilt. Personally, whenever I do a lightsaber install, I want all my personal sabers to have a crystal chamber. However, a lot of crystal chambers that you can get printed, like the Goth 3D ones, they come with plastic crystals. I am a big proponent against using plastic or 3D printed crystals, so I went ahead and carved and faceted a quartz crystal for this saber. It's a very nice crystal. It's got a few different facets right here, and so it concludes to a point up there, but you kind of got this, you can kind of see it, nice edging right here. Gives it some extra geometry. Now, this video also will act as an operating guide for the owner, so when you go ahead and you take this apart, you can actually undo the you can go ahead and take the top off all the way out to here. In case you ever need to access those wires, you have that. But when you open and you reveal the crystal chamber, just leave it like this. If you want to leave it on a shelf to reveal. The weight of the hilt itself does not permit you to go ahead and hold it like this. Hold it with both hands when the crystal chamber is revealed. Set it down on a surface when it's revealed, but don't hold it with a single hand on a single part of the hilt. That could damage the crystal chamber, could make the crystal go out of alignment. The crystal's pressure fitted in there right now, so it's fit perfectly. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Just gotta watch out if you snag some of those wires when you pull it out too far. But there we go. It's a lot of threading to get it. There you go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom part. Here we go. Right now I just have some electrical tape kind of helping to hold the board in place while the super glue on the edges of it sets. But we have a single blue accent LED right there, and we have a high amp kill switch and your recharge port on the opposite side. Now the accent LEDs for the crystal chamber are not wired in parallel. That's what we were originally going to do with the Spark Color 2, and that's why we ended up switching, was that would require common anode crystal RGB LEDs. Common cathode in here, it's wired onto pads 6, 7, and 8, and that uses the CRYS, the crystal blade mirroring for those accent pads. This one's just CRY because it's 6, 7, 8. It's just the 3 LEDs. Now if we go ahead and hold down the auxiliary switch, gets us into our sound bank selection. That's Fates by Mad Cow, Shatterpoint, Bespin. Bunch of Old Republic fonts by Nightstorm, Nihilus.
This is General Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
Oh. This is General Kenobi.
Hold it down.
Goodness, you're not one to trifle with, are you? Our guests have arrived. Let the negotiations begin.
I like this font. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of pre-on fonts, but I have Traya and Kenobi on here. The only thing I don't really care for is the font swings are not weak, they're just quiet. They're distinct, but they're just very quiet.
There's never time to limber up.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get a blade in this, and we'll continue from there. So, personally, I really love this hilt. I'm not a huge thin neck fan. I'm not a huge graphics fan. I'm not a huge MPP fan. I'm not a huge fan of character hilts. Most character hilts I want are from the Old Republic, or the MMO, or the games. You know, Expand Universe character hilts. A Tahiri Veiler or a Mara Jade Graflex is right up my alley. But the Episode 3 Obi-Wan and the Luke Hero hilt are my favorite thin necks. I love this hilt. I think the install came out fantastic. It's loud, it's clear with just the 28mm premium speaker. I use bass speakers in all my sabers unless they can't fit, and in this one, a bass speaker wouldn't fit. So I think it's pretty fantastic. I hope the owner is happy with the install and it's up to his standards. It took a bit of time to complete. It was only a few days, a couple hours each day. And this morning I did all the wiring to the soundboard in just an hour and a half. No, yeah, it was an hour. But, I mean, some parts of it were a little, not super tricky, but, you know, really the crystal, getting a new crystal into that crystal chamber. I started with one this big and filed it and cut it down. But overall, I am very happy with this install. I think it came out great. I hope the owner is excited to receive it, and I hope it fulfills, you know, his standards, and it goes well in his collection. And thank you very much for watching. May the Force serve you well.